Hello, fellow brand ambassadors and visitors on this platform. You are welcome. Today is the 8th of March 2023, and we are here today to celebrate the Women's Day, the International Women's Day. As you could see from our graphic, as it goes, women empowering women. So let's see what we've got today. And as you can see, I am joined by my fellow women in the house, and of course, two powerful men to support us to make sure that they push us right to the top where we would like to be. So, panel, you are once again welcome. Hello, my brother, Auntie Andy. Thank you for joining again.
Thank you, Comfort. I can't put a high voice on, so I can't do the woman bit. But yeah, right on, sister.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Brother Collins. Thank you for joining us today. It's special. So we consider you, both of you, guest of honor tonight because you're coming to support us. So welcome.
Hello, Isakoho. Thank you for inviting me. It's great to be among the women because today is their day. So happy Women's Day, International Women's Day to you all the women across the globe.
All right. Thank you. Of course, we appreciate that. And of course, Anita, welcome and thank you for coming. Happy Women's Day, sis.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. It's going to be a really interesting evening, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Sister Gladys, welcome, sis, and thank you for joining Happy Women's Day.
Thank you very much, and happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. Looking forward to a great discussion today. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you, thank you. So, ladies in the house, dear sisters, fellow brand ambassadors, and everybody watching us, we're trying to see how we can comment on the theme for the Women's Day, the International Women's Day this year. However, we are not experts, we are not counselors, we have nothing to do with, we don't go deep into anything women and stuff. We just want to stick it to what the theme is and then how it's relevant to ONPASSIVE, how ONPASSIVE is playing or is going to continue playing a part in uplifting women. So both in our chats, on the chat section and here, we keep it the ONPASSIVE way. So once again, thank you for joining the conversation. So Anita, if you would like to go first, the general theme for this year is embrace equity. So what would a topic like that come up for a day like this? Oh, you would need to mute yourself, unmute actually.
Oh, I thought I had. Embrace equity. Yeah, I mean, if people have seen it, that's literally women hugging themselves like this, embrace equity. And a lot of people actually confuse equity with equality. So just to make that simple for people, if you, and this isn't to do with the technology side, but it's a really simple way of putting it. It's if you could imagine, for example, a bus, and a bus is saying, look, you can all come onto this bus. It doesn't matter what age, what color, what size, what gender. That's equality. But of course, equity is if somebody disabled in a wheelchair can't get on the bus, okay, then they haven't got the equity. They need the ramp to be put in place to get on the bus. So the whole point of this is equality is one thing, but equity is making sure that people have equality is everybody having the same opportunity, but equity is understanding people's individual needs, because not everybody can start from the same place, if that makes sense. So you've got school children all coming to take an exam in a room. Some of those children have had a good night's sleep and they've had a good breakfast. They're coming from a different place to somebody who's had all night not sleeping with no food in their tummy. They're coming from a different place. So this is where companies need to look at people's individual needs to how to get them to achieve the same as other people around them. And this is the difference between the two. And so we're now looking here about how that is with women. And of course, it's been certainly in technology, it's been male dominated, hasn't it? And so we're kind of looking at women sort of having a voice and coming forwards, and it certainly has raised, it has raised up. I think it was something like 11% of women were in those roles back in '94, and in 2020 that raised up to somewhere like 17% now, but that's still quite low. So, there's a lot to say on this topic, so I'll move, let someone else carry on. I've got more to say on that later, but it has increased, and women need to sort of keep pushing forwards, and there's a lot more I can say on that, but let someone else have a go for now.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Adita. Guys, if you can kindly mute so that we get the best out of what we've got now. Yeah, sure. I know for me, this is me now. I know we're talking about equity, but then when you look deep down, it's difficult to take equality out of this whole equation, because why should I be qualified, or why should I have the knack for something and they undermine it just because I am a woman or just because I'm different? This is also included in the package. From my own perspective, I think so. So I think let's hear from the ladies first, then before we take it over to men, because they have a part to play. So, Sister Gladys, what do you think, listening to what Anita has said, my own perspective and so on? Why equity? Is there any iota of equality being part of the equation? Like I said, just from your own angle, please.
Thank you so much, Sister Comfort. And yes, even though equity and equality are different, I think the main purpose here is recognizing that every woman, as an individual person within specific needs, that we are all different. In as much as we are one, as a bigger picture, we are different, and the needs of a woman in the US might be different. It's definitely different from the needs of a woman in Cameroon. And that's why it's very important in embracing equity, enabling these women and giving them access to resources that will make them achieve common goals. And saying, why should you be be treated different from another person just because you are a woman? Let's just look at women alone. In the US, in Africa, we have goals that we need to achieve. Say, for example, businesses, but the access to resources is totally different. But when we look at ONPASSIVE, of course, we want to discuss details. As she's giving us equal, opportunity and access, but he also recognizes that different people from different places need different access to resources in order to achieve their dreams. And that's why, for example, he came up with the platform of Oh Bless, just to name a few, to complement the base so that we can all succeed. Thank you. I leave it at that because I know we're going to have more to talk.
Yeah, definitely we'll have more. And men, please bear with us. We are not bringing you here to be to watch us speak, but then you'll definitely pop in. I want to come back to the different need thing. I just read a story, Anita. I know that you did a lot of research. You might have read this too. They said this little girl in Rwanda. Rwanda is one of the most developed country in Africa, so modern. However, you've got those, you still get people who are still living at least averagely or below average. This girl is born and bred in the village. So by the village, Gladys knows what I'm saying. Collins knows what I'm saying. Down the village. She's never been there. She comes to the city for the first time when she gets a place to go to the secondary school, and she finds the ICT stuff, and she says, that's what I want. So the moment she comes back home and tells her mom that, Mom, I want to do IT, and the mom looks at her and laughs and say, hey, who is deceiving you? That thing is meant for rich children of the city, and not for people like you. So her own limitation is just that fact that maybe financially or some other thing she is challenged, or people think that she's limited. However, she picks on it and then she goes. So before we go ahead, I would like our brothers to comment. I think Sister Fumi is here. Oh, see who is here, Sister Yvonne. All right, sis, hold on. You okay? Thank you for joining. All right, it's Marcian. Comfort is blind. All right, so guys, so let me go back, because the men should speak now first before our sister speaks. what I was going to bring to this, Brother Collins and Brother Andy, the United Nations women, out of the main theme, embrace equity, the United Nations women, they came out with this one, digital, like digital, which means let's include everybody in the digital industry, in the IT industry. That's my understanding of digital. So from your own profession, Andy, let's keep at IT apart because Colin will speak on that. From your own perspective, from your own background, would you also agree that women are being they are still less represented in the job market, in the profession, just because of their gender before other stuff, please?
I think it's very prevalent in the financial services industry. There are far more men in the financial services industry than there are women. But this is one of the reasons I like ONPASSIVE, because it doesn't care. It doesn't care whether you're black, white, yellow, green, blue, purple, from Africa, from America, from India. It doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man or something in between. At the end of the day, the company is designed and the model is specifically designed for everyone to be able to create wealth. So, there is, I agree, there is a lot of inequality, sorry, in many industries. But times are changing, and things like this are helping for those times to change. Yeah, I think that's important.
All right. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thanks so much. So, Collins, the theme this year, especially from the women of the United Nations, was narrowed down to the IT. They say digital instead of digital, say digit and then all. So include everybody. Would you also confirm from your own angle that in the IT profession, women are still very less represented?
Yeah, Mr. Comfort, yes, as you said, it is true because most of the company I've worked for, women are less than the men, especially the IT in the IT industry. But I think if you look at the few women, though they can say, oh, maybe we can look at it in the other way. But those who are in the industry, they are well knowledgeable because I've worked with most of them and they are really good coders, really good database administrators who are women, managers who are women. So sometimes I ask myself, is it because some women feel shy to go into the IT world, or they feel it's for men, or it's just because I don't know how they look at it. But most of them, because if you look at it, the ratio is about maybe 17:3. Sometimes you can meet 3 women. But when you look at them, those ladies who are they are doing so well. They are even challenging the men. And this is the time because things are really changing, and I will really be happy to see more women in the IT industry because they are really good. Honestly, when they pick it, they are really good. Especially like Sister Comfort, I saw today, one of my little girls sent me a code. She did what? Biomedical sciences. Has a degree in biomedical sciences upper. But do you know what? She said, I want to go into IT. I said, are you going to study? Are you going to change? Just graduate this year. Are you going to change? She said, no, I'm not going to. I'm doing it on my own. Today, she sent me a website built by herself. So she has studied HTML because she asked me, what can I do to be able to be a front-end developer? I said, all right, you need to know HTML. You need to know CS. I know you guys will not know this. You need to know JavaScript. Go and Google it. She went and then studied on her own. Today's the comfort I have. I wanted to send it to you before. Coded, and I was really blown away. It took her 3 months to do that. And she is really good. She can get a job now as a full stack developer, junior. Complete. I'm really blown away.
Wow. Yeah, that's what makes us say woman, because the truth is sometimes I understand at some point you were trying to, Collins, to think that maybe could it be they're shy or stuff. On the one hand, it could be that some people think that it's a man job, for example. I'm not really sure. However, on the other hand, it's just that we feel that some point, I don't know, because Anita, you have a story to share. I think that maybe you should just say something while the sisters, so that they pick up with this team and know where we are before they come in. I know that we had a conversation earlier on, and before you could have this job where you were the only woman, something happened. What is it? And those are the things we are kind of frowning at by smiling as I am doing right now.
Okay, so yeah, it's a long time ago. You know, I was in my mid-20s, so like 30 years ago, and I'd been working really long hours and really hard in timeshare, and I loved it, but I got burnt out after 80 hours a week, and so then I wanted to have my own business. And between those two things, I thought, look, I need to do something. And I went along to this interview for a job with a fish company called Marlin Foods. And I cannot believe, honest to God, I cannot believe the guy actually got me along for the interview, but he said, well, I have to tell you, we don't have any admin jobs. I said, well, I'm not here for an admin job. I'm in sales. You know, I want a sales job. He said, well, I'm sorry. He said, but all the sales people here are men. I said, well, why is that? Do you not think women can sell fish? You know, is it something that men can sell better than women? He said, oh, no. He said, it's not that. He said, but, you know, if I was to give you that job, he said, I'd have to put you to a test. So I said, well, what test is that? And he said, the thing is, he said, because of equality, he said, if you want to do that job, you've got to be able to do what the guys can do. He said, so, you know, you have to be here for 7 o'clock in the morning. He said, you're out knocking doors till 9 o'clock at night, then you drive home. He said, you bring your van. He said, and you stand in a line, you put your arms out like so, and you have to collect the ice that comes in the van in the morning, the dry ice blocks. They go across all your arms into the freezer. Now, if you can do that, he said, and not moan and whinge, you can have the job. So I said, right, okay, so you mean, well, when do I do this then? He said, tomorrow morning. I said, fine, I'll be here and I will prove to you I can do that. Oh my God. So I've got there and there's little me, and I was quite small in those days actually, but there's little me, you know, gets the arms ready and I'm in the line, you know, and these blocks come and they're throwing them across and I'm like, oh my God, and humping them to the thing. And yeah, you know, the long and the short of it was, I did that part. Then I had to load up my own van. And the problem was, he said, the other problem you're going to have now is the guys can carry 10 boxes of food to the door in one go. You're not going to be able to do that. So, okay, well, you know, how many we want to sell? Minimum of 10 boxes a day. Our best seller is 20 boxes a day. I said, okay, leave it with me. Off I went, you know, out I went. And I thought, oh my God, 5 boxes I have to carry to the door. You know, talk to them, come back for another 5 boxes, bring to the door, which of course, the whole point of this story is, you know, it was very difficult for me. And of course, in this day now, when we talk about this equity thing, they could have given me a trolley to make life a little bit easier. But of course, they didn't think of that. But that probably wasn't around then, you know. But the thing was, anyway, I went out and I slogged my guts out, really. And I came back and proved them. And he said, my God, he said, I've got to give you the job now, haven't I? And I'll tell you what, within a few days, top rep for the week. And I said, don't underestimate me. Don't underestimate me. And definitely not because I'm a woman. Now, this is what women have to do. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Because I'm afraid to say that all today as well, I've noticed something, and I'm not a blooming raging feminist, but I have to tell you that it's actually a proven fact. Okay, it's on advisory.com that men in business will interrupt a woman 2.1 times in a 3-minute conversation. They'll only interrupt a man 1.8 times. What does that tell you?
And so we haven't interrupted you once.
No, they do.
You're the only two civilized
I had to speak up. So I had to speak up for myself. And so my point is, this was 30 years ago. Things have changed. Things have changed because today, you know, in today's world here, they would have said, oh yeah, you know, look here, we might give you a trolley, that make things easier. You can, you know, to give you what I'm saying now is the same start as those guys. And that's really where look, I mean, obviously you don't want to call somebody chauvinistic, but obviously it was quite chauvinistic, the man that interviewed me. But I got there, I did it, and that's what these women have to do, is they have to say, I can do this, despite all of the adversity, everything against me, I can stand up and do this. And that's what this is all about, really, isn't it?
I think this is not something that starts now, because when you look, there are these three women, Catherine Vaughan, uh, uh, and the other two ladies in the days in America, in the days, I think they still had traces of slave trade and all of those things, segregations, right? Catherine was a good mathematician. There's this job they advertised. First, she had two problems. One, she's a woman, and two, she's black. So you can't go for that job. But then she didn't take that for any excuse. She went for it and got the job because she knew that she was best at maths and she could do it. So if we listen, a few examples were quoted here. You see that women, when they want something, they go for it. They have the talent just like any other person, both physically and anyhow they are prepared. So they still ask that we need a bit more. Even though you say things have changed, Anita, we think that more still needs to be done. Reason for the theme for this
Of
year.
course, of
Yes,
course.
right. So let's hear from our sisters. Welcome, Sister Fumi. Welcome, Mama Maxine. So if you just want to join in the conversation, if you heard anything you want to comment on or to contribute on, you just go ahead. Or if you want to open up a new thing, we're trying to look at the theme for this year, equity, why embrace equity and stuff. So we leave it open. So just come up from any angle. Mama Maxine, you may go first, please.
Thank you so much, Sister Comfort, and thanks to all the great ambassador and all the great women around the world that they are listening to us right now. We are proud, we are happy to call ourselves women, and we do very much what we know how to do best around the globe, and we know how to step up and to speak for ourselves. And I want to pick from what Anita was saying. Things are getting better, but it's going to be getting even much better with our company. This company is the revolution. The company that started from the beginning to Unlifted Women. Remember, from day one, we have all women. Those organizations, because our CEO, with the love of women, the knowledge that he knows that women had, he knew that to make it very far, he needs women and powerful women, because all women around the world, either you are girls, young age, old age, we have some kind of wisdom that every one of us have their own particular wisdom. Imagine us coming together with that and put it in this our company. What this company is going to do, we are going to unlift our sister. We are going to go to our various meetings. We are going to talk to any woman and tell her, listen, today you don't have to wait for your son to come and tell you how to light your gas cooker in the house. You can go online with ONET and you will listen and learn and do everything. This is powerful. And I'm sure that we, with the revolution that we are going through with ONPASSIVE and OConnect, is going to be so much wonderful. And the women today is just like very perfect. You don't have to worry because the world is yours. Thank you.
Wow, that was powerful too, sis. Thank you so much. Guys, if you like what we're doing, let us know. Start by supporting us. Drop a comment. Let's know what's your own perspective. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channels. We run this show on about 8 different channels. So just go ahead, subscribe, and thank you to those who have done so already. So, Sister Fumi, do you have something to chip in, please?
Thank you very much, Sister Comfort. Thank you, and good evening to everyone, or good afternoon to everyone. Good morning, just hello to everyone, including the brothers, Bra Andy and Bra Collins, that on the set with us today, Sister Gladys and Anita. Thank you, and yourself, Comfort. I love the fact that this year's theme was equity. And for me, I felt equity was coming from a place I want to drive things back to the foundation now, as relating to equity. We know that back in the days, gone are the times when you have children and you give some priority to the male child and you put down the female child. With equity coming in means that whatsoever exposure you give to that male child also goes to the female child. So we bring it back home to the families now, because when families operate that way and bringing equity into what they are doing. There's no preferential treatment as relating to the male child, neither is there to the female child. All of them have the same, equality and equity in the home. They are all inclusive in that family. Then they must definitely have the same exposure. And that goes back to right from the home. When the father and mother are trained, I believe that needs to come in, because then that means if you are making sure boys know how to cook, the girls must know how to cook. You are teaching all of them at the same time. And when it comes to one's time, you don't say, oh, you go and do homework and you go to the kitchen. I have a typical situation where I went to a family and then we got to their house and then we said, the husband said, oh, you, that's the girl child. Go and meet your mom in the kitchen. Go and stand with her and learn how to cook. And then the boy was sitting at the table studying. And for me, it was like my heart just went like that. It broke right there and then, because I thought, why would you do that? Because that is, how will I call it? You're already breaking your family apart that way. And that child is not inclusive, because that child is going to think, okay, all I'm good for is to cook, that kind of thing. And you see the repercussion of that as well, later on in marriages and relationships where there's that expectation. So I would say, let's take that same, is good the theme is equity, but let's take it back to the foundation of where all the children are coming out from, which is the family unit. It's very important, because when we do that, then we enjoy benefits of that sooner or later, whether directly or indirectly.
Perfect. Thank you, sis. I think, guys, I think this was another perspective which I equally accept, because charity, they say, begins at home or from home. I don't know. Given that children of today are leaders of tomorrow, when we start showing that example to them from now, they grow up like that, I think things can only get better. I accept that, and I really appreciate you coming from that angle, Sister Fumi. Thank you, of course. So let's hear again from the men. Any comment at all? We don't want to stick you to any particular thing, but then let's stick to our topic. Let's discuss this and make smart fun and education, of course, out of it. I'm enjoying the whole thing, though. So, Brother Collins, any comments from your end, please?
Yes, the comfort. Yes, I've just been listening to the women, and sometimes it's really a tough topic. But I think, as Tafumi said, it started all from say charities begin at home. The way the both sex are perceived is sometimes different. Because if you look at, I go back to the IT industry, sometimes I don't look at the mother or the father. I'm just asking myself, do we really encourage our children, regardless of if they are male or female, to do the same thing, to have the same aspiration, the same opportunity? Or do we say, oh, this one is for men only, this is for female only? It can be not only IT, football and stuff like that. There are certain things we think like it's money, women cannot do it. But now the world has changed, as Andy said. There is nothing, if you close your eye, you just see everybody as same. And we believe when women jump into something, they always do it to perfection. I always say they are the best managers. Anywhere you go, if they want to lead, they lead with perfection. And if you surround yourself with them, sky is your limit. In no way, sometimes we used to look at it and ask ourselves, but thank God, academy is coming, where children now can study from home. Sometimes they have like this cultural difference. We can go on and on, or, parents and this, the way parents do. But sometimes it's just with the parents, not even something like cultural. Sometimes as a parent, sometimes they don't give them that opportunity. Maybe they want to promote the girls more, or they want to promote the guys, but they don't leave it as an open playing field for them to do what they can do and excel in what they can do. And sometimes we want to choose for them. Sometimes parents want to choose for decide what their children will become And it is really difficult because you limit their ability. Like this little guy I told you now from biomedical sciences, and now he said, oh, this is not what I want to do because my parents forced me to do that, or they were just pushing me into science because that's what they know. But now she just find her own road by writing code on her own without going to uni or anywhere. And that's the beauty. If you allow human being or anybody to excel, whatever they do, you will see their full potential. But when you want, yes, it's always good to direct. You know, you make sure I don't fall into trouble. That's good. Don't do something that will bring problem or you get yourself into trouble. But when you allow them and said, I will guide you, and then choose your road, you honestly, sky will be their, especially women, sky will be their limit.
Wow, thank you so much. So Andy, if you remember from the onset, we listened to a few stuff or looking at what they're discussing this year. Sometimes looking at equity, maybe some people are denied access to stuff either because of their physical disability, because of their gender, because of color. I think that counts too. We don't want to bring complicated stuff into this. Let's be really let's stick to what we are saying. So now let's bring it back home where we are, right, or where we started or where we are heading to. ONPASSIVE is here. Do you think these problems will be solved? Like the little girl in Rwanda, there are so many others down the village who wants to do the IT, but it's meant for children in the city, it's meant for rich children and so on. So do you think, Brother Andy, that ONPASSIVE is going to break this barrier and let women touch the sky that they want to get to?
It's not just the way the business model, the way the business has been designed. There are products that we have. Academy is a good example of that, where as long as you have internet connection, you can learn whatever you like. Whether that be, you know, knitting, engineering, electronics, software, accountancy, it doesn't matter. The facility will be there. So I look at it from a business perspective, because I've met some very powerful women over the years, particularly in doing what I've been doing. And they have had to work harder. There's no doubt about that. They have had to work harder in order to get to where they've got to. But they're very successful and they've pushed themselves. With ONPASSIVE, with the business model that we have, anybody can be successful. There are no boundaries. So whether you as long as you have a dream to be able to achieve or create wealth, it doesn't matter who you are, what gender you are, we have that capability, and that, I think, is extremely important, because it binds everybody together. Doesn't matter who you are. And ONPASSIVE is like being part of a big family, and I love that. Now, Collins mentioned this earlier. We all want the best for our kids, and we make decisions as parents the way we believe the best thing would be. It's not necessarily the best thing, but it appears to us to be the best thing at that time. Situations change. Yeah, I can't go back in time. I can only move forward. So at the end of the day, it's not what's gone on in the past, it's what happens today that creates your future. Yeah. So as long as everybody understands that and doesn't think about the past all the time, what happened in the past, it's irrelevant. You cannot change it. It's what we do today that forges the way we are in the future. Yeah. So everybody from now on has that capability, because we're pushing things forward.
Well, I think that was a powerful conclusion to that point, Andy, because if I always take people back home, because that is what I know best, right? Back home in my continent, there are most people, especially women, who would have sacrificed their education and services for their male siblings to go to school when they were younger. And even when they get to some point, they say, I didn't go to school because of you and stuff like that. However, it's no longer relevant, like you rightly say, because ONPASSIVE has a place for everybody, even somebody who doesn't know how to read and write. They cook the best food, cook it and sell it, and teach us how to cook it here. That is education, that is value, and it gives you that feeling that of fulfillment. So I think things are changing, and things will get only, they can only get better, especially with ONPASSIVE. Sister Gladys.
Thank you so much, Sister Comfort, and I've really enjoyed listening to everyone giving their input. I'm also just going to add something in terms of embracing equity, making opportunities accessible to all and providing the needed resources. Last week, I received a prototype from one of our 8-year-old student in Kenya of a laptop made of mud, of soil, wet soil. And I was just wondering, looking at the features, I was like, what can stop this child from going so far if this child has access? But the child is a child. But what about if the parents had access to, had money to educate this child, or access to technology? As you have said, which is true, there is this gap in terms of exposure to technology, to education, and the like. But we cannot go back, as Brother Andy says. So, but ONPASSIVE comes with a solution. Imagine making this accessible to all mothers. Already we are from more than 200 countries. And when we have this exposure, we have people from different parts of the world. When these moms become exposed to technology, you see the passion that now almost everybody has, and in wanting to understand technology, the basic information possible that can allow anybody to be able, who is interested, to be able to know how to turn the laptop on and off. And then having this access, whether it's through academy, all the parents or the children putting their skills out there free in ONET, which is accessible to all, which is a product in ONPASSIVE, how much exposure they are going to have. Making opportunities available like that opens the door to these people who could otherwise be marginalized to have access or equal access to available opportunities. And this is what we need. This is what is causing this huge gap that we have, between access to opportunities and success. And that's why we have, one of the reasons we have poverty. But when we have companies like ONPASSIVE that is concerned of the bigger picture and looking for creating opportunities that will create legacy of success to families and to individuals, we cannot go wrong. Thank you. Back to you.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm just enjoying the discussion. I don't know about others. It's running really well. Thank you, guys. So, who has been quiet? I think Anita, you've been quiet for a while now. So let's hear any other thing to chip in, please.
Yeah, okay. I think it's be a good thing for everybody to have a look on our blog, because there's a fantastic article on there about all of this, really. And I was reading that earlier today. So I'll just tell you so you can find it. I think it was under sort of how women in tech are making a difference through support and empowerment. It's also got a thing on there in bold that the future of technology is female, so that's great. But it's a really, really good, blog article to read. And I think the main thing I wanted to sort of say there, just bear with me because there's quite a lot on this blog. But when I just said about women in tech making a difference through support and empowerment, this is what they're doing. They need to kind of create communities in a safe place, because there's an awful lot of women in other countries that are not safe on the internet. There's cyberbullying and stuff like that. So that holds them back. And so by having that safe place, having a community, that really helps. It's things like the entrepreneurship as well. I mean, this article is fantastic, and it's on about them starting businesses and creating jobs and building innovative products and stuff like that. But basically, for providing mentorship, to other women in the tech industry as well. So it's about being able to inspire the next generation as well. So women need to come together, and they need to create that community. And you know what? I think that's really kind of what Ash has done. I think Andy said earlier, really, but he totally supports women, okay, and that's obvious because of his plans for women as well, but also I believe because of his wonderful relationship as well, with his mum, his respect that he's got for his mum as well. It's really important to Ash. So basically we are a tech giant, and so women that are in tech, they're really in safe hands with ONPASSIVE, aren't they? With Ash, to guide them, that they're in the really best place they could be. So yeah, go and read that article. It's brilliant. It's obviously on our ONPASSIVE blog.
All right. Thank you for pointing us to that. But you said something which I think resonates with what Auntie Lynn says here, that we all have more in common with one another. We can collectively be a force that can uplift humanity. And Anita, you just said that women need to come together, and we won't know what we can do when we come together and put our heads, our thinking caps on. We can do it. We can change the world. And history has it. The nightingales and so on. It didn't start this morning nor this year. It's something that is doable, especially given that we are chosen and empowered to get this done. So, Sister Fumi, if you and Sister Marcel can drop in a comment, then we'll quickly remind people about our event in April so that we wrap it up. So, Sister Fumi, please. So if you have another comment to chip in, then it's yours. 1 minute. She's frozen. Sister Maxine, can
Thank you very much, sister. From your perspective.
All right, you are freezing, sis. You need to just go off camera.
Me now.
No, maybe you turn your camera off,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Let's.
All right, I'll let Mama Marcian speak while Sister Fumi sorts herself out. Please, do you have any other comments to make, please? 1 minute.
Not really, just to say that the women, we are very powerful, and together we can do a lot of things. And if you have to look it from long time ago, even in the history, I don't want to talk about church, but when you look around, wherever they pray, mostly the women are the one that they organize prayers and everything. It means we have something that is very powerful, and we can use that tools to save the world. So
Yeah, of course. It definitely, sis. Thank you so much. Thanks. I think you are very correct. Okay, Sister Fumi is gone because she's enjoying this mess while it lasts. Any moment from now will be on the real thing, and any other one will be history. So we want to use this opportunity to quickly remind people of our great international event that is taking place here in Manchester, hosted by the UK and Ireland. Uh, Sister Gladys, what reason would you give someone to attend this event on the 22nd of April, please?
Regarding the event that is upcoming in the UK, it's very, very important for those who can be able to attend, or those who can reach out to their loved ones in the UK to attend, because number one of the attendees that we have had who are going to be present, they are very knowledgeable people regarding ONPASSIVE, and ONPASSIVE is actually an opportunity to be shared. So this will be a good moment, especially if you have people you want to bring, but you don't have the guts, or you don't want to go into details explaining about ONPASSIVE. Somebody will be able to speak for you. Many leaders will be there. Andy Bax will be there, Sister Comfort, Red Fan, some OTEC pros, Peter Rogers. I don't want to name them all, but invite them. Myself, I'm looking for my loved ones who are in the UK. I want to sponsor a few of them to attend the meeting so that they can hear about ONPASSIVE. Thank you.
I just called you good girl before I unmuted the microphone for sponsoring your family in the UK. to go to the event. So I called you good girl for that. Thank you, sis. So, Sister Marcienne, you are in the United States of America, Houston, Texas. What reason would you give someone to attend this event in Manchester? One word.
Before I
Okay,
say
two words.
something, let me do this. Sister, come, can we go for where? Oh? Brother, can we go to where? Oh? Follow me to Manchester on the 22 of April. The matter, oh, now Manchester, where we go and see, oh. Sister, come, can we go to where? Oh? Brothers, come, can we go to where? Follow me to Manchester on the 22nd of April. The matter, oh, now Manchester, consolation. So, the matter is Manchester.
That was a good one, guys. Somebody sang live for you, live concert. Just to
The
invite
matter is
you to this event.
Manchester, 22nd, April 22nd, 2023. If you want to make it there, if you can feel like making it there, if you are in UK, please don't let me come and host you in your own city, in your own town, in your own home, because the matter is going to be boom, it's going to be hot, it's going to be everything you know. Remember, we are on passive, and everything we do, we make it huge. So follow us, come to Manchester, April 22nd, 2023, because brother around the world, sister around the world, from Cameroon, from UK, from Manchester, from Europe, everybody is going to be direction, destination, Manchester 2022, April 2023. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. That was powerful support for us. We really appreciate. So, Andy, it's yours. So, say the three of you, give it all out. Give every reason, everything.
Well, before
everything.
we go any further, I'm not going to sing, so don't worry.
Please don't sing, Andy.
Okay,
I don't want to be
don't,
confused. Don't sing.
yeah, okay, cool. Because I sound like a strangled cat. The key here for our event in Manchester is the fact that if you're an individual wanting to build a business, if you're a small company wanting to expand your business, if you're a large business and you want to have tools that will make your life easier, then this is for you. And we're going to show you and showcase one of our products that can be used for events globally. Now, when I say events globally, I mean you can have millions of people on the call if you wish to. So this is a video conferencing platform that is second to none. So just to come and see how you can use this for yourself, come along to Manchester and come and join us. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, bro. Brother Collins.
Yes.
Add your voice. It's your event.
Yeah, it's by said I'm just like blown my head off. I don't know what to say again. Yes, please, if you are around and you are in UK and Ireland, don't forget to make it. And if you are even out of the UK, please encourage not only the founders, we want everybody. Everybody is an open event to everybody. So, you know, a lot of things will be said there, a lot of things. And honestly, you have life experience with the products and services which ONPASSIVE is about to offer or is offering at that time. You know, as Andy said, O Connect, you know, one of the best conference in video conferencing webinar platform is there. We're talking about O Mail, we're talking about O Trim, the best of the best. You know, we're talking about O Net, which is the biggest social media application with more disruptive functionality driven by AI, artificial intelligence, which is the order of the day. Please don't miss it. Come and witness it. You know, you have a lot of great leaders, as I said. A lot will be coming, and you will have live performance. Live performance will be there. That is something that we don't know. We have live performance from our one and only sister, which I will not reveal the name, but come and see it. It will blow your mind. So those who love It's a day, honestly, it's a day out. Take it as a day out and come. Send everybody, just push all of them. They will never forget this day. All right, that's what I want to say. So we'll have I think Sister Comfort will be arranging something where we'll just come and talk only about the event. So I'll leave it at that point.
Sure, we need to in the days ahead. We'll be here like every day to discuss just this, guys. So let's hear from Anita about the event, please. April 26th.
Wow, how can you follow? Well, everyone's just said it all, really, haven't they? So, without repeating what everyone else has said, look, if you're a brand ambassador, then come, because this is your business. This is going to be the start of a brand new life for you. We're changing lives around the world, and you have this amazing opportunity to come to Manchester and meet up with other, brand ambassadors and have some fun. But also, for the people that are not brand ambassadors that are watching this, really, I can honestly say you have never seen anything like ONPASSIVE in your life. So please don't sit there and think, oh, I've seen all this all before. Oh, that sounds like a video conferencing tool. Oh, that sounds like this. No, you have no idea how different we are, how unique we are. And really, you need to come along. And when you see the whole of what ONPASSIVE is all about put together, you are going to be absolutely blown away by what we stand for, what Ashen Farah and ONPASSIVE stands for. It's absolutely, there's been nothing like us before. There probably will never be again. So come along and just have a time of your life. Hope to see you all there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Yes, please. I don't think there's need to keep on repeating this. So all right, sorry guys. I think we just we just need to close. I think we've said everything. There's a bit of distraction here. So guys, you cannot afford not to be part of this, especially if you are listening now and you are not yet part of ONPASSIVE and you don't know what this event is all about. Just write to me. Say, look for any of us you see here on the screen. Look for us on Facebook, or you tag us or something. Come after us. Say, what is Manchester all about? What do I need to do? Tell me and stuff. We are happy to help. We have the tickets are still selling. Then, so you need to come, because there will be room for question and answer, so that you get the clarifications and know where we are heading to. You cannot afford not to be part of this. Please join us. But then, please wait for us the days ahead. Every day we'll be here. Bring your friends and loved ones who don't yet get it. When they get it from another person, they might not believe you because of the familiarity, but then bring them here. Let us tell them what we've got to offer and reason for which they should be part of this event. And of course, success shall be all ours. We've been talking to ourselves a lot. So when you are coming, make sure you bring another single soul that is new to ONPASSIVE. Thank you once again for another wonderful evening, and happy Women's Day. Enjoy the rest of your days. Thank you, the gentlemen in the house who came out and supported us powerfully. So thank you.